My husband, Jake, forced me to work 2 jobs because he said I didn't deserve to be tired. I still remember the night he said it. I had just come home from a long, exhausting shift, barely able to keep my eyes open, and collapsed onto the couch. Jake, sitting there playing video games, barely glanced up before smirking. "Why are you acting like you did something hard? You don't deserve to be tired." His words cut through me like a blade. I already worked a full-time job, handling the majority of our expenses, yet in his mind, I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't a wife to him. I was an employee. No, worse, I was his personal workhorse. The demands started small. At first, he just wanted me to take on extra shifts. Then he started complaining about how his job was stressful, how I wouldn't understand because I had it easier. Eventually, it escalated to him telling me outright that I needed to take on a second job. "We could be saving so much more," he said one night. "It's not fair that I have to carry all the financial burden." The audacity of it all stunned me. Jake had a well-paying job. We weren't struggling. We had a nice apartment, enough for bills, food, and a comfortable life. But I realized then, it wasn't about the money. It was about control. He wanted to drain me of every ounce of energy while he did nothing. No matter how much I protested, he turned it around on me, making me feel guilty, as if I was the selfish one for wanting to rest. I wish I could say I stood up for myself then, but I didn't. Instead, I gave in. I took on a second job, working from 6 in the morning until midnight, barely sleeping, barely eating. And Jake? He continued his lazy lifestyle. He stopped helping with anything around the house. He never cooked, never cleaned, never asked how I was. I would come home, dragging my feet from exhaustion, only for him to glance up and say something like, "Finally, you're actually being useful." I should have walked away right then. I should have screamed at him, thrown his things out of the apartment, and never looked back. But something in me snapped in a different way. Instead of breaking down, I made a decision. If he wanted to play games with my life, I was going to make sure he lost everything. That night, while he slept soundly, I started planning my revenge. First, I secured my financial independence. Every time I got paid, I secretly transferred small amounts of money into a private account he didn't know about. If he was going to use me as a cash machine, I was going to make sure he had nothing to take when I finally left. Second, I started gathering evidence. Every cruel thing he said to me, I recorded. Every text message demanding more money. Every instance of him admitting that I was the one supporting us. I saved it all. I wanted proof of his financial and emotional abuse. Third, I reached out to a lawyer. I explained everything, and together, we came up with the perfect plan. 4 months, I continued playing my role, pretending to be the obedient, overworked wife while secretly setting him up for his downfall. Then, on a random Tuesday morning, he received divorce papers. The look on his face when he opened them was priceless. "What the hell is this?" he shouted. I calmly sipped my coffee and smiled. "It's freedom, Jake. Mine, not yours." He was furious, demanding to know how I could just abandon him. I let him rant for a while before pulling out my phone and playing back some of his own words. "You don't deserve to be tired," I repeated, mimicking his cruel tone. His face turned pale. When we went to court, I laid everything out, proof of his manipulation, financial abuse, and neglect. The judge ruled in my favor. Jake was ordered to pay me back for all the money he had drained from me, and he was forced to move out of our apartment immediately. The best part? He had no savings, no plan, and no one to fall back on. His cushy life had officially crumbled. Meanwhile, I walked away with my head held high, free at last. Today, I live in a beautiful apartment that I pay for with my own hard-earned money, and every single night, I go to bed knowing that no one will ever tell me again that I don't deserve to be tired, because I do, but only when I decide.